Howdy, eggs. My name is Francisco Otero. My biofuel project, I picked ethanol. So, a little bit about ethanol. It was discovered by Henry Hennell in Great Britain by producing an acid catalyzed hydrated version of ethylene. As we can see here, ethanol consists of a methanol group, a methylene group, which we haven't covered yet, but we will get there, and a hydroxide group. They're all functional groups and they all make ethanol. Fun fact about ethanol, it is used to manufacture drugs, cosmetics, and it fuels all of our cars. So how is it made? Really important thing is that it can either be created by fermentation or cellulosic production. Manufacturers have actually found it way easier and more efficient to ferment ethanol due to the bioavailability of starch-based products, which can undergo through dry mills, which grind the crops into flour, later then fermenting them into ethanol. Fermentation of ethanol is anaerobic, which can be carried out by yeast using the glucose found in starch. So you can see here, so starch, grind it up. These are the little, flour. They all contain glucose, making pyruvate, as we know, and ethanol. We're missing an E here. We're missing a T. That's mine. So ethanol is really it's used commonly in the United States. 98% of all gasoline in the United States has some degree of ethanol. I'm pretty sure that when you go to the pump, you see that the buttons say E something, either E85 or E15. Gasoline contains either 15 to 83% ethanol, which is very important because it uses less gasoline, and it actually encourages manufacturers to make cars that use gasoline more efficiently while combusting ethanol. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. But beauty brands like L'Oreal use denatured ethanol in their products. I didn't know that until like a few hours ago. Ethanol hugely affects the U.S. economy since it really puts the agricultural industry in America into perspective, giving it another use than just feeding America. The carbon footprint of ethanol is less than half of that of gasoline, and they still combust and almost create the same amount of energy. Yes, gasoline is a little bit more efficient energy-wise, but ethanol being so easy and so bioavailable, it is way more worthwhile to create ethanol and use ethanol as a fuel source than gasoline. As we can see here, ethanol makes 315 grams of carbon dioxide on average while driving. I forgot to put 1 mile, but every mile we drive, it makes 315 grams of carbon dioxide, which is, like I said, less than half of gasoline. So ethanol actually boosts two industries. It boosts the fuel industry and the energy industry while also boosting the agriculture industry. In the year 2021, the ethanol industry raked in 52.1 billion US dollars while adding $28.7 billion to household income. Additionally, ethanol added 73,000 jobs to the US, which is huge. So the way that the public is aware of ethanol, efforts by the government and efforts by different fuel companies have been made in order to educate the public about ethanol and its use. But the most frequent example that we can see is these little badges that we see behind cars, for example, like the Ford Escape, that have these little badges that say flex fuel, basically meaning that the engine's car is made to efficiently combust ethanol and gasoline. Of course, all cars do, but these cars do a little bit more efficiently, and they're eco-friendly cars. So for the current state of ethanol, it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty widespread. It officially acts as an octane enhancer, meaning that since ethanol is oxygenated, it burns cleaner than gasoline and is also way cheaper. Manufacturers have been using this for a very long time, since the U.S. Senate passed a law that gasoline now has to have some degree of ethanol. In my opinion, I would recommend manufacturers to start developing an engine that runs solely on ethanol. All that is needed, it is a high compression engine. So for my section about what I would do if money wasn't a problem, boom, baby, more money. If funding weren't an issue, I would start pumping out corn, pumping that corn into a mill, making that corn into ethanol, fueling this car, and making my own cars fueled with ethanol that I will make from my corn and starch. And this is some, baby. Boom. Happy, happy, happy. All smiles. All smiles. But on a serious note, this would be way cleaner for the environment, also saving Americans on average $2.7 a gallon. Think about that. That's a whole lot of money we can save. Here I've cited every source and every picture that I've gotten. Thank you for listening to my presentation. This will conclude it, and I hope you have a great day.